What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Pitts. Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live. Listen, it's going down all things HBCUs. And who else better to start it off with them Bowie State Bulldogs? We coming to you, Bowie State Bulldogs, total access. We got the Morgan State Bears. Listen, all HBCUs information, all HBCU news, sporting events, updates. You get it live here with Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, Comcast Channel 77, Verizon Channel 11 is going down. Don't you miss a beat.
Listen, it's only the beginning because it's early still.
And it's
We're gonna be here all day.
all day.
What's going on, everybody? You know what it is. It's your boy Pitts, Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live once again. Listen, this is personal, and I just can't wait to jump into it. But before we do, shout out to the sponsor, Staples and Smart Water, for all that you do for Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio, Pitt Sports Zone. Thank you. Tune in.
Hey everybody, my name is Sydni Chester. I am a senior at the Bowie State University, communications major, and today we have the pleasure of sitting down with someone who truly exemplifies leadership, discipline, and excellence on and off the field. Kaleb J. Chester is a 2023 graduate of the Bowie State University, the oldest HBCU in the state of Maryland, and the former captain of the Bowie State football team. A powerhouse in his position, he was named first team all-conference, recognized as the best center of the CIAA, and ranked as the number 10 center in the country. Before his time at Bowie, he was a part of the 2019 SAC championship team at Lennar Rhine. I hope I said that right. And also played as a Division I athlete at Abilene Christian University. Now he's tackling new goals as a senior universal banker at First Horizon. Please welcome the one and only my cousin, Kaleb Chester.
Yes, sir. Hey. First things first, man.
Right.
Yeah, you definitely did. You definitely did. First things first, man. Hey, all glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I can't thank him enough for all the blessings and all the opportunities he's given me. Shout out to Pitts, happy belated birthday, and shout out to my cousin as well. So
Appreciate it, man. Listen, this is gonna be fun, right? Because Kaleb was one of the players when I first started, Pitts and Push, and I'm out there with a camera, my cell phone, taking pictures with the cell phone at first to get the coverage. Hey, this is full circle, man. I appreciate
yes, sir.
You being here with us.
Hey, it's an honor being on your platform, Pitts. I remember first getting the Bowie and you being like, "Hey, do me a favor, post a picture real quick."
So look, before we kick it off, let's do a little icebreaker. Let's get a listeners of yours a little bit about yourself that they may not know, right? So, what is your favorite food?
Definitely a pasta guy. So fun fact, I'm pescatarian. So
Okay.
I don't eat chicken, I don't eat beef, I don't eat steak. I enjoy health. So I'm pescatarian, but I love pasta. I love salmon, but pasta, it has my heart. So
What is your favorite place to visit or a dream destination visit?
So actually, believe it or not, my girlfriend is from Panama, Chiriquí. So pretty soon I want to go out there. So that's my dream destination right now. So
Okay. Hey, listen, you getting some brownie points with that one, young man.
yes, sir.
And lastly, what is your favorite NFL team?
Oh, I'm a Falcons guy. But I don't know if you can see it because of the glare right there, but I got Turner Field right there. They demolished it, but hey, I'm Falcons ATL till I die. So
They say, okay, ATL, Scotty.
oh yeah, ATL Saudi for sure.
So listen, man, let's go ahead and jump into it. You're from Atlanta. When you were coming out of high school, right? Did you know about HBCUs? Was it a destination of yours?
So being transparent with you, I did some great things in high school. I was the leader of the offensive line. We went to the semifinals and we lost the cold foot in double overtime. So basically, fresh out of high school, I was told I was going to be a D3 ncaa athlete. And, I took it with a grain of salt. And at first, I got a late offer to Lake Erie College up in Ohio. So I was like, hey, this is where I'm going to go. And last second, Drew Cronick offered me a full ride scholarship to Lenore Rhine. And I remember my mom was like, okay, Where's the school located? And I told her Hickory, North Carolina. She was like, okay, we'll be there tomorrow. So next thing I know, I went on an official visit, and it felt like home. So that's where I ended up going. So
Okay, awesome.
Now, Caleb, you've had an impressive journey through college football, from LR to ACU and then to Bowie State, your alma mater. What
mhm.
motivated each transition, and how did each school shape you as an athlete and also as a person?
Most definitely. So when I first went to LR, it really taught me hard work and dedication. We actually went undefeated. Our only loss was to West Florida in the quarterfinals, and that was our only loss. And West Florida went on to win the national championship that year. So being there, being around guys like Kyle Duggar, who's the current safety for the New England Patriots, Derek Young, who's a wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, and also Jason Poe, one of my role models. He was in the league for a couple of years. He was on the San Francisco 49ers and then the Philadelphia Eagles. He just recently retired. But being around those guys and seeing what hard work looks like really molded me in the on the field and also outside of the field. So
Mm.
going from there, and then my coaching staff ending up going to Mercer, and I decided to put my name in the portal and having the blessing to be a Division I athlete. When I was in high school, nobody thought I was going to be Division I, but
Mm.
God really blessed me with the opportunity to go to Texas and meet some of my best friends to this day. And unfortunately, at ACU, my coaching staff got fired again, but I ended up finding a home at Bowie State University.
Okay. So let's talk about that because I think that's one of the aspects that I think we don't highlight enough. A
Mhm.
lot of times as athletes, you always have a coach or two who I don't want to say doubt you, but they kind of put a label on you, right?
Hmm.
You're an NIAA guy, you're a
Hmm.
Division II, you're a JUCO guy.
Hmm.
Talk about the mindset and when you're talking, when you show and we know your leadership and your determination. Talk
Hmm.
about that mindset and that mental switch to say, you know what, regardless of where they feel that I am, and regardless of what they feel I'm capable of, I know that there is more in me that is bigger than the institutions and the platforms that they place me on.
Hmm. And being honest with you, when it came down to it, I'll never forget where I was being told that I'm an NAIA D3 athlete. Being 17 at the time, it really did, hurt me a little bit, but I feel like I really transformed who I am as a person and as a man when I started locking in on, okay, being in the present moment, taking it day by day and being the best version of myself. A lot of people focus on proving the doubters wrong and doing things for external validation, but the moment that I locked in on the plan that God had for me, I feel like that's when I really started understanding what it's like to be a man on and off the field.
Mm.
And Sydney, before you jump, I just want to highlight something you just said, external gratification. A lot of times we operate outside of ourselves to prove other people wrong where we trip up instead of just doing it, and allowing the chips to fall where they may because, God's plan always wins.
Hmm. Most definitely. And a lot of people, especially athletes, that's one thing that I really want to point out. You'll really find out who you are as a man and as an individual when you start finding out who you are and the hard work and the dedication aspect. Walking away from the game was one of the hardest things that I could do, but I could look back and be proud of myself and all the things that I've accomplished now because I gave it all I had. There wasn't a
Absolutely.
time where I stepped on the field or in the weight room and I was lackadaisical. I can't
Yeah.
speak today, but there wasn't a time where I didn't give it 100%. So being
Mhm.
able to transmute that from the weight room, the film room, the field into my banking career, I feel like that's something that I really want to really have a lot of people understand.
Shout out the mom. Shout out the mom on the chat.
Yeah, shout
I
out mom, love you,
was
mom.
turning up. So, as a team captain in 2023 at Bowie State University football, how did you approach leading your teammates both on and off the field? I mean, you still keep in contact with your old teammates, you're still in
Mhm.
contact with your old coaches, but being the team leader, how did you approach that position?
I'm gonna be honest with you, it wasn't easy.
Mm.
Coming into the season, I remember I wasn't even a starter. I came in from a Division I school, and my goal was to play off rip. They were giving me a lot of money to come in and showcase my skills. And going into fall camp, I was dominating. And I was just on the phone with Coach Park last Friday, and he told me he was like, "Hey, look, I wanted everything to gel together." And once the train got rolling, that second half, we were down by 10 points to New Haven, and I got my opportunity. And guess what? Even that next week, I still didn't start. But after that, I got my
Mm.
opportunity and I started rolling. And I really thought that I would have a lot of accolades, but I ended up fracturing my sternum in two places. and I played
Yeah.
2 games with it. And it was one of those things where, I'm going to be honest with you. I was devastated. I really was. And I took the time. I was like, okay, look, this isn't going to be the first time where I'm down and out, but what am I going to be? When adversity hits, that's when you find out who you really are. So I went in the weight room from January to July. I didn't miss one. I missed 1 week. And the only reason why I missed that week was because my mom had surgery. But I was in the weight room. Whenever Coach Page was in the weight room, I was in there. And a lot of people don't like leaders because guess what? You challenge them to do things that they're uncomfortable with. But as long
Yeah.
as you're giving it all that you have and being the best version of yourself that you can be, the rest takes care of itself.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
love what you said. When adversity hits, that's when you know who you really are. I love that.
Hmm. Thank you.
And before I get to the next question, definitely don't want to leave you
Thank
out.
you.
This
Thank
is
you.
wifey, Sydney. Shout out to you. Um, and then
Thank
we
you.
can't leave out Auntie Nicole Blackman. I'm sorry, Auntie.
Shout
I
out Nicole.
apologize,
Love you, TT.
I
Love you, TT.
But so when we talk, and I'm glad I remember that year when you got hurt, right?
Hmm.
And one of the things that you didn't do was like, even though you were hurt, you were still a part of the team. You were still a
Hmm.
leader on the sideline. And a lot of the times that wanes when players are hurt because the selfishness in us and the competitor in us want to be out there. So I
Hmm.
commend you for the way that you handled it. I know it wasn't easy.
Hmm.
I know it was hard. We had many conversations, when during that season as it took place. But I just want to say from my viewpoint, and I've expressed this to you before,
Hmm.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the way you handled it. But even furthermore, like it wasn't your ending.
Hmm.
You still went on to do great things
Yes, sir.
for Bowie State University. And one of
Yeah.
the things that I enjoyed, man, was your energy.
Yes, sir.
When I'm on the field, one of the things, like it was like I felt like I was a part of the squad with y'all.
Hmm. Yes, sir.
When you talk about HBCUs, right?
Hmm.
What is the culture? If somebody was to ask you the culture of an HBCU, what would be your response?
So I would answer it like this. I'll never forget. I left Abilene Christian, and being honest with you, I was devastated. All I wanted to do was be a Division I athlete, and it not working out, it really devastated me. But I remember I hopped on the phone with Coach Kajak and Coach Tyree, and they were like, "Look, you need to be here, and we want you to come up on an official visit, and we'll work out the rest." So Kyle Williams actually called me, and I asked him, "I'm like, hey, bro, I'm like, hey, what's it gonna be like when I get up there?" And he goes, "I'm gonna be honest with you. You're gonna show up. You're gonna get 2 shirts. You're gonna get 2 shorts, and guess 2 pairs of shorts. And guess what? We're gonna show up every day, and we're gonna work." They had
Yeah.
just got done beating Lenore Ryan, and I was like, they were already on my radar. So being able to see them and go on that official visit and watching them push prowlers, run 100-yard gashes in the 100-degree heat, pick up pick up whatever they could find in order to make it work. That's when I was like, okay, this is where I need to be. And being around, being a young African American male and being around young African American men who wanted to have the same end goal as me, it's priceless. That's something you
Yeah,
can't put a price on. So it was an outstanding opportunity. And I look back and I tell my beautiful girlfriend on all the time, hey, a teammate will text me and I'll be like, hey, guess what? Let me tell you about this story. So it was an outstanding experience. And I really feel like it's something that really made me who I am today.
absolutely.
So, bulldog to another bulldog, what are the most memorable game moments that you've experienced at Bowie State University? And what's your most memorable moment while you were at Bowie State University that you have?
I would say my top 2 moments was actually being able to lead the comeback. It was my first time being a center. I've been a guard my whole life, but being a center,
Hmm.
coming down to Bowie and that first game against New Haven, leading that comeback and watching Dion Golot throw that game-winning touchdown and just seeing the whole atmosphere. Like I just remember almost after the game, I went in the locker room. Nobody knows it. I cried because it was like being denied, being told you're not this, you can't do this. People putting
Mm,
the stigma on me and telling me what I'm not able to do. Being able to go out there and accomplish that was something that I will never forget for the rest of my life. And second memory, I would definitely say being notarized as first team all conference. I'm gonna be
mm,
honest with you. I didn't know what to expect with that. I didn't think I was gonna be all conference anything. My best friend Cameron, he was a tight end at Fayetteville State, And it was funny because he had slipped out of a meeting to call me. He goes, "Hey, bro, I need you to answer me right now." And I'm in my room. I'm like, "What, Cam?" He goes, "Your first team." And I remember I jumped up and down. I was yelling. I was excited. So learning that all that hard work pays off. And also, I'd say beating Delaware State as well. People don't know this, but I had worked so hard coming back from my injury because two fractures in my sternum. I had a hole in my chest right here, and I had a slight fracture down here. Coming back from that, putting in the work, doing what needed to be done. And I remember my dad sent me a long, heartfelt message, and my mom did as well. And I had my shades on the bus. I was crying. I was like, man, like, God, thank you. Because at the time I needed football, and I was able to really find out what hard work and dedication was and the reward of being bought in and trusting God in his plan.
God's will never be denied.
Never.
Right.
When you talk about that New Haven game and you talk about the electricity, the crowd went crazy. Like the atmosphere was electric, and you can feel it on the field. The way, like, because it was unexpected. Nobody expected you guys to come back, because in the first half it was tough. Wide receiver was getting out. They was getting large chunks of yards. Come back second half. That wide receiver, for whatever reason, didn't even see the field again. And, you guys took over the game. One of the things that I appreciated, and I'm not surprised that you were voted first team, is because, leadership goes beyond the field. Leadership goes beyond the physical nature of it. And, I told my son, who was in his first year of football is more mental than it is physical. The physical gift, you already had it. The mental gift is what we hurdle with. And the fact that you were able to overcome the mental capacity of such an extensive injury, it showed and spoke volumes as to who you are as a man, as a young man, as a student, and as an athlete.
Yes, sir.
So it's not shocking that you won it. I think it was more shocking that it took so long for it to come to you.
Yes, sir.
When you talk about that journey, and I love this. I love the question I said asked you. And I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna poke a little deeper because I'm on the field, so I see y'all, I hear y'all. When you talk about, just talk about, like, that was Coach K-Jack's first year. I mean, right? You got new coaches coming in. You spoke to Coach Tyree. Coach Tyree leaves. He goes to the Washington Commanders. Coach Nemo leaves. Like, Coach Wilson leaves, right? So everything that you guys thought was in spring, what didn't come to for the fall. But the way that you were able to persevere under first year coach Cal Jackson was major. Just talk about that journey and the transition of the coaches that you thought you were coming in and playing for, then fall coming, and the changes in the coaches.
Being honest with you, Coach K-Jack is really one of the main reasons why I came in, because he's a young head coach, and he really told me, he's like, look, he's like, at the time I had dreams and aspirations of making it to the NFL. He told me, he was like, look, if you do what you need to do, you will make it, because we will get eyes on you. And Coach Tyree did an outstanding job of recruiting me as well. He was like, look, you have all these D1 offers, you could go here, but he was like, do they go to a place where they want to marry you, not where they like you, And I took that and I thought about it, and I was like, is it far away from home? Yes, but hey, it's an outstanding opportunity for me to go somewhere where, they really, really want me. And I'd actually found out on a team meeting that he was leaving, and he went with the Washington Commanders. So being honest with you, that was even more fuel to my fire, because I'm like, okay, he was just telling me, like, hey, we're going to get eyes on you. And now look, he is a set of eyes that's going to be looking at me, So, and also I can't say enough about Coach Paul. Me and Coach Paul talk once a month. Coach Paul really helped me when I was going through a dark time, because it was difficult. My mom was having health issues, and being away from home was difficult, and it was really a struggle for me. But Coach Paul really took me underneath his wing, because there's a lot of pressure of when you're doing everything the right way, the bar gets raised. So people saw me in class every day. People saw me in the weight room 24/7. And being honest with you, it got draining a little bit. I'm not afraid to admit it, but Coach Paul made sure that I stayed on my toes and that I did everything that I needed to do. So I really appreciate him, and all the things that I'm doing now outside of football. Him, Coach K-Jack, Coach Rod, definitely Coach Doug, everybody else, Coach Goggins. I really have to give them their flowers for teaching me hard work and dedication. So
Yeah, shout out to Coach Ocho, Coach K-Jack, Coach Doug, Coach Punk over at Delaware, coaching them
Yo,
high
yo.
school boys, getting them up.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And
sir.
that's what they say, buoy bold, buoy strong. You know what it is.
Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Bowie Bowl Pride. Yes.
You know it. You know it.
So, Caleb, what would you say football taught you about yourself as an athlete,
Mhm.
but also as a person that you might not have known otherwise?
I'd really say it taught me hard work and dedication. Being fully transparent with you, I was a 6 foot, 300 pound offensive lineman. No matter what door I stepped in, I was the smallest O lineman. I was the shortest one. I was never the fastest. I was never the strongest. But I had the mental will to be like, hey, whoever lines up in front of me is going to get everything I've got every single day. So controlling what I could control, being on time, being disciplined. For me, diet was the main thing back in the day. Being able to switch to going pescatarian and really controlling what I could control and giving it all that I've got. I really say that was a major thing that I learned about football. I also learned when you're doing stuff the right way, because I'm far from perfect. There was only one perfect man on this earth, but when you do everything the right way in your best ability, a lot of people won't like you as a result. A lot of people are
Mm,
going to try to tear you down, but guess what? That's got to go in one ear and out the other, because at the end of the day,
that's
guess
true.
what? They're going to be relying on you to do what you need to do so the whole team could be successful. So I really feel like those are some of the main things that I learned.
And knowing Caleb in his college career, he was the most disciplined person I've ever met. We'd be like, "Hey, Caleb, you want to go?" Nah, I can't. I have class in the morning. I have practice in the morning. I can't eat this. I'm a cook, so I'll be like, "Hey, Caleb, I made
Hmm.
this." He'd be like, "I can't eat that." and
Hmm.
seeing that discipline in you and seeing where you are now, it's no surprise that you're so successful. It was no surprise that you were great on and off the field. So I do commend you for being that disciplined, because not everybody has that nowadays.
Hmm. I appreciate that. And it's true. I mean, when it comes to being disciplined, I feel like we live in a generation where being uncomfortable is frowned upon. Doing the things that are
Mm,
right, a lot of people don't want to do. And I really challenge a lot of
mm,
people who are my age. You can do the things that I was able to do on the football field. All the athletes, young or old, whoever, whatever you want to do in life, as long as you're doing what you need to do, controlling the controllables and putting your faith in God, you could accomplish
mm,
anything. The sky's the limit. If you could
right.
put your mind to it, guess what? You can do it. So I really challenge everybody to control what they can control, put their faith in God. And because that's another thing that it taught me. Because guess what? There were times on my journey where I'm like, God, like I'm doing everything that I can. And I had to understand that, guess what? It's his plan, it's not my plan. At the end of the day, if
Amen.
I got everything that I wanted to get on my time, it would have led to my own self destruction. So, learning
Hmm.
his plan and his will and letting it be done has made me the best version of myself, in my opinion.
When we talk vulnerability, that's something that we as men don't necessarily tap into head full of steam.
Hmm.
We corral it.
Hmm.
We're selective in who we allow to hear it from. Um, just talk about your experience from a perspective of going from. I don't think a lot of people understand the transition from guard to center. It's a
Hmm.
lot of different. It's a terminology is different, right? The
Hmm.
blocking assignments are different, similar but
Hmm.
different. Not only that, to snap the ball, get your head up, find your target.
Hmm.
Talk about the difference from going from guard to center and the challenges that it may have presented in the beginning.
Hmm. So, funny story. So, I had told everybody, I was like, I'm a guard. I don't want to snap the football. I don't want to have to snap the ball and I have a 300 plus guy in front of me that I have to move out the way. I was like, no. So, my new coaching staff came in from Texas Tech to Abilene Christian. And I remember they dropped the depth chart for our first day of spring ball. So I had been going in at guard. I'm like, hey, guard is my position. So I check the depth chart. Next thing I know, I see myself at center. And I'm like, am I seeing this wrong? And I go, hey, coach, you got me at center. I'm not a center. And he goes, yes, you are in this offense. And I'm like, oh man, I'm like, here we go. So before practice, I got to practice about an hour early and I was in the locker room. And my teammate, Isaiah Padat, caught my snaps. And every time I snapped the ball, it would go above his head, in between his legs, or all the way out here. And I was, oh man, I don't know how I'm going to do this. But I would stay before practice. I would stay after practice. And I'm like, hey, guess what? I got to go from being one of the most athletic linemen to one of the smartest linemen. It's not easy having to call out in front. Hey, guess what? It's a 4-2 box. Watch the safety. The safety is spinning down. It's not easy being able to do that, but really taking the extra time and the preparation and learning the game, being a fan of the game and just learning all aspects, and also taking the time to really work on your craft. When it comes to being a center, it's all about being technically sound. You have to have the best technique on the field because guess what? One miscue will lead to the ball going over the quarterback's head. To guess what? If you miss your block, it's a straight V line to the quarterback through you. So I'd really say those things: being disciplined, technically sound, and being smart.
Well, playing center is such a mentally demanding position. How did you mentally prepare for reading defenses and making split decisions on site, on the line?
A lot of film work. It was so funny because before we played Dell State, I knew every single defensive lineman rotation. I knew their first name, their last name. I knew their hometown. I knew their best moves. I knew everything. I knew number 94 was going to come in and he was either going to do a rip move or he was going to do a spin move. Taking the time for the game and just learning it and being a student of the game and just really understanding, hey, guess what? This is what I need to know. So I'd really say just being a student and taking the time to learn.
What did your training regimen look like during the season, off and on the season? I know you said you were very disciplined, you were in the gym, but what other training regimens did you take?
So thankfully for me, I had the best strength and conditioning coach in the whole land. Shout out to Coach Edward Page. He's at Dell State right now. Forever my dog, Coach Page. So being with him and learning everything from being explosive, doing the tiny movements right. Because guess what? Engaging your core in a lot of exercises and really just focusing on, like, if I'm doing dumbbell press, engaging my core and putting my mental fortitude into this right here, because that's the part of my body I'm trying to strengthen. So really that, and also mobility as well. Really just taking the time to go to the gym, because guess what? If I was just in the gym and I just squatted 460 pounds, I'm trying to, you really think you're wanting to lay down for the rest of the day, but nope, taking the time to go and do that extra mobility and get my body used to getting banged up in the trenches and doing the mobility and the strength exercising in just 2 a-days.
Yeah. Man, Kaleb, listen, man, you motivational speaker, I think you can reach, you have an aura about you, right? And I shared this with you before. You have an aura about you that is gravitating. You have a presence and when you speak, I've watched people listen. You may not have started out as, where it was you wanted to be, but when you talk, they listen.
Yes, sir.
Whenever y'all had to run the hill for whatever reason, you never moped, you never griped, you buckled down, you ran it, you was the first up, first down, right? You enjoyed it.
Yes, sir.
It's great. I think it's great, man, for you. I think you definitely need to tap into coaching.
But I tell you, Kaleb.
Yeah, you definitely did.
That profession, man, because one, you already know, you have the knowledge of the game, right? That's one. Two, you can speak it on a level that most people can't. And three, you defeated the biggest odd when it comes to football, which is the mental part, because the physical gift you have. And the mental part was the challenge, right? And we always say that, God always takes us through an obstacle for whatever reason. We don't know the reason. It's the response. And are we patient enough to wait for him to provide whatever the outlet is, whether it's still football or whether it's something else? And, your patience, your discipline, your leadership, all of the qualities that you possess are those of great coaches. And I definitely hope you don't, your fire don't burn, don't dwindle, don't dim. Let that fire burn. And I'd like to see you on the sideline in the ATL out there.
Hey, you never know what the future holds. You never know. So, hey, you never know. But right now, I love what I'm doing in banking, but I really am thinking about part-time getting into coaching and things like that. And also, it's funny that you say that because I'm in the middle of writing a book. It's going to be called I'm Still Standing. So, it's coming soon.
Let's go. So,
yes,
when is the book coming out?
So I'm still in the early developmental stages of it. So it's coming soon. I'm thinking early 2026. So it's something that I'm really taking my time and really, I really feel like it's going to be something that a lot of people could relate to in football, outside of football, regular life struggles and things like that. I feel like two of my main points in the book are going to be this: there's strength in the struggle. There are going to be times where you go
Mm.
through hard times, you're going to go through things, but there is no tribulation if there is no trial. There is no knowledge if there is no struggle. So
There's no
understanding
test
that,
without no testimony.
you feel me? Yes,
Right.
sir. So, yep.
Okay, we
Yeah.
are so proud of you. I mean, I'm proud of you. And I couldn't end this stream without saying how you and I met. I know y'all see the
Oh
last
yeah.
name. We are so I went to I transferred to Bowie State fall of 2023, which is the semester that Kaleb graduated, and
Mhm.
I was a communications major, and our advisor, the chair of the department, is Dr. Otis Thomas. Hey, LT, if he's watching,
Shout out to
and he saw my last name, Chester. He's like, "Oh, I have a Chester," and I'm like, "What's his name?" Kaleb. I'm like, "I never heard of that person before," so I'm like, "I don't know him," but like Chester's not a common last name, so I
right.
took it upon myself to DM him, be like, "Hey, we have the same last name. Like, who's your family?" Come to find
Hmm.
out that his father and my father are first cousins. His grandfather and my grandfather were brothers, and
Wow.
they haven't seen each other in years, since childhood.
Hmm.
So we were able to reconnect there. And Kaleb and I have been best friends ever since. Been super close. Our
Hmm.
cousins in our generation are super close. I mean,
Hmm.
my brother, my older brother. I'm gonna say this. He told me not to DM Kaleb, but now they're best friends.
Come on,
But
Quincy.
it was like when you talk about God and timing,
Hmm.
it's just such a full circle moment now that I'm interviewing you and seeing
Yeah,
the great things that you've done. I shout out to Instagram, because if I never DM'd you, you wouldn't be here today. So I'm
exactly.
so
And
proud of you, cousin.
I appreciate you, Cuzzo, and I got to give a shout out to you because you finding me and being able to hang out with you and Quincy and just get to know you
Yeah,
guys, and it really took me a long way because family is everything. So once again,
right.
shout out to my family, shout out to mom. I know she's watching. Shout out to dad. I know he's watching. I know my aunt Nicole's in here. My uncle Russell. Shout out to my beautiful girlfriend once again, Aunt. I love you. Shout out to my entire family, and also shout out to Miss Joanne, man. Shout out to her as well.
That's my mommy. That's my mom.
And also a
Yeah.
couple of
So
other shout outs as well. I know my manager, Miss Michelle, she's in here. So shout out to you for watching as well. Shout out Taylor. He said he was going to be watching. And thank you everybody for your time. So, and Pitt, shout out to you as well. Tell everybody happy belated birthday as well. So
happy birthday to Pitt.
happy birthday to you. Happy belated birthday. So,
So while we give them flowers, I'll give some to Sydney. Like
oh yeah.
Sydney has been like, it's crazy. I met Sydney at the Capitol Emmys.
Yeah.
And it was dope because everything that I was in need of, it was like she was like, "Oh, well, I got that. Oh, well, I got that." And I'm like, normally at first she'd be like, "Yeah, okay," but then when she hit me right, and then I was like, she said, "Okay, I got some more interns." I'm like, "Huh?" It's like 9. I'm like, "Oh, she ain't for play. She's
Uh-huh.
serious."
Yep.
But
Like, I'm really passionate about this, y'all. And thank
Hmm.
you for
but
picking the opportunity too. So
and it was dope for me, man, because Kaleb, unfortunate, things ain't work out, the way
Hmm.
they were destined to with
Hmm.
with me and Push. But
Hmm.
at the end of the day, I'm definitely grateful for Sydney because she gives me the ideas like the intro. She's amazing on the
Oh
intro.
yeah. Oh yeah.
She did it with Coach Hugh Jackson, and when she did it with Coach Hugh Jackson, I was just like that
Yep.
was dope. So
Hmm.
just trying to connect, be a resource as best as possible. But I'm grateful for her, and all
thank
that
you.
she has done, for me and
She's
helped
definitely,
become
she's
easy.
definitely, mhm.
And,
She's
and I'm
definitely,
looking forward to it.
oh
We
yeah.
got Media Day for Morgan State coming up next
Hmm.
week. So, we definitely gonna have fun with it. And I appreciate you, one, Kaleb, for always just embracing me. You didn't know me, right? I was just a guy out there with a cell phone talking to the players, doing interviews or whatnot. But I appreciate you for, being open-minded, and even though you didn't understand what the purpose and the vision was, you were still supportive of it.
Of
You've always
course.
been supportive of it. Every time I've seen you on campus, there's always been love.
Of
So,
course.
it's always going to be dope for me. Every time I get a pick, like, we got to sweeten out Kaleb.
Yes, sir.
We got to get
Yes,
Kaleb
sir.
sweet. So, but I'm grateful, man. I'm definitely appreciative. I'm grateful to be able to watch you up close and watch you play, and not just, the good times, but how you handled the rough moments as well.
For sure.
Like I
Yeah.
said, God's not done with you. Your ceiling is so high that I'm just excited for the journey, and I can't wait to be a part of it, just to be a fly watching as well, man. So appreciate you, Sid. Y'all know what it is. It's your
Yes.
boy Pitts and Foot Sports Talk Radio, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV. Catch us on Comcast. You know what it is. Shout out to Staples. Shout out to Smartwater. Get with us. Get at us. It's HBCU.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of Bulldogs on here, so I can't let this moment leave without an hey,
Boo, hey, okay.
Enjoy the rest of y'all Wednesday evening, man. It's Pitts and Sydney. Get at us.